Hey guys, welcome back to Holistic Homesteading with the Hursts. I'm Megan, and today I want to show you what my garden looks like in late April 2022. So I've been scrambling the past couple of weeks to get things into the garden before this baby comes. I am currently 37 weeks and a few days, and this baby could come anytime. So I'm still not 100% done, but I'm to the point now where if a baby came, I would be okay with what I have planted, so and be able to do some other things later. So I've got most of my cold hardy stuff out. I've also started planting some of my I've also started planting some of my warmer weather stuff because our last freeze date was about 4 days ago, and hopefully we don't get any late freezes, but I am saving my tomatoes and my peppers for planting after Mother's Day. For us is supposed to be the safest time to plant those. So I'm just gonna flip the camera around here and show you guys what we've got going on. All right, so we have our garden located directly next to our chickens. In this area, we've added a compost section. It used to sit down there, and you can kind of see it in that little pile right there. And we've had some flooding, and so I wanted to move that so that we were able to use it next year. That's just a big mess right now. We do a back to Eden style garden, as well as some raised beds. So trying to do mostly no-till, but we do have a section that we are tilling as well. So in these two, I don't know what they used to be, water containers, the previous owner left them here, and they were already cut in half. So I decided to use them as garden beds. I had a dear friend give me some of her herb starts here, and so let's see what we've got here. We've got Thai basil. This was a gift to me. And then we've got some basil, sweet basil right here, and it is not looking so good. So I don't know if it will come back or if it's going to die. We'll give it another week or so, and if it doesn't look like it's doing good, we'll just replace it with something else. Next we have Italian oregano and some catnip. And we have some hyssop and some chocolate mint and some German chamomile. In my next herb bed here, we have some yarrow there, some more oregano, some valerian, wormwood, and then here is toothache, and apparently you can chew on this and it will numb your mouth if you have a toothache. There's other things you can do with it as well. Alright, so in this area there's a few weeds, but I have to stay on top of this. I've planted some snapdragons and they're not doing so good. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know if it's the soil quality. They were okay looking when I transplanted them, and then now they've not bloomed anymore. And then here, I'm pretty sure are just some raspberry plants that are spreading, because I have a raspberry plant right here. And I think that they're just spreading. We love raspberries, so I'm just gonna let them go. So raspberry here, blueberry bush here. There is an apple tree, and I'm pretty sure that's a gala apple. And then on the opposite side over here is another blueberry bush, and we're going to have quite a few blueberries this year, I hope. They're starting to form there. And then here's another blueberry bush. We just planted this one this year. And another blueberry bush. I don't know. All of these don't look so great. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they are about to start pushing out blueberries. Yeah, see, there's the blooms right there. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. In here I have strawberries and then some spinach just kind of growing in there. I really need to add some more compost in there and build this bed up a little bit more. But we've added some fresh new strawberry plants in there. And we've been cutting back the blooms to have a bigger yield this year. All right, here are some of my seedlings that I haven't planted yet, but these are peppers and they just are growing a lot better out in full sun. So I just need to transplant them into larger pots so they can continue to grow. And then here I have some leftover lettuce starts that I just didn't have room to put them anywhere, and they're still growing. So right here we have some cabbage. I started a whole ton of cabbage this year. Last year I did not get one single cabbage from my start, so I'm hoping this year I will get a good harvest. And then companion planted them with some celery. So I do have a plan of talking about companion planting this year. I want to see how it works for me a little bit more. But I'm reading a book. I've pretty much taken it to the garden with me every single day and just went over it with detail about how and what to plant together. Just to keep pests at bay, help things grow more, help things produce more. So I would love to do a full video on that, just things that have worked with the companion planting. So in this area right here, we have onions planted, and in between the onions we have our broccoli, and there's some more broccoli over there, and these seem to be doing the best. These were some of my first transplants, so they've been growing. And I, when they were really small, I put cups around them to keep my kids and my dog from stepping on them, and that seemed to do a really good job. So I probably need to take those off fairly soon. They're large enough now. Alright, so here are cinder blocks, and I've just put some soil in there and planted a variety of leafy greens. So we've got spinach and arugula and just a mixture of greens, which I'm really excited about. And they seem to be doing really well in these cinder blocks. So we'll probably try that again next year if all goes well. I'm actually about to get my first harvest off of them later this evening. And then right next to, sorry my shadow, but right next to the cinder blocks are more onions planted right down to there. I was honestly just trying to find spots for onions because I got so many of them. That really should have been a walkway, but you do what you gotta do to get your food in. We have another row of onions here, a row of broccoli there, and then we started with, I think that's cabbage. I know I have cabbage in there, I'm just not 100% sure which row starts the cabbage. And then another row of onions on the other side. So, and then right here we have some German chamomile, which is supposed to go well with your cabbages. And then I have some random nasturtiums going in here that help with deterring pests from your cabbage and your broccoli, your brassicas. So hopefully those will do well. I've heard that they're really easy to grow. This is my first year. Now this area right here, we've tilled once, and I tried to cover everything with cardboard to keep the grass from growing. And we've had some major windstorms and rainstorms, and it's blown it everywhere. So this really needs to be tilled again. But I plan on putting potatoes and watermelons in here. So I've got to get it tilled one more time before we plant those, but it will be ready soon. And then in this area right here, I have peas, and I've made my own little bamboo trellis here. So we'll see how that goes. But I did a little bit of an experiment. So I transplanted this whole row right here. And then that row back there was direct seeded. And I think next year that I will just direct seed. I mean, this was probably 2 or 3 weeks after I started these, and it seems to be doing just as good, if not better, than the transplants. So I think that next year I will probably just direct sow. That way save me some time and some extra money with doing all of the transplanting soil and stuff. So in this bed right here, it doesn't look like there's much going on, but I have a row of carrots, and they're starting to spring up right over there. And then I've also planted some nasturtiums. Now I plan on planting my tomatoes in this raised bed because they go well with carrots, and then the nasturtiums help to keep them clean and clear of pests. So, but I'm going to wait until after Mother's Day before I start planting my tomatoes. Now I've had an issue with one of my cats getting in here and using this side as a litter box. So I'm hoping that it's okay whenever I plant my tomatoes, and maybe she'll stay out of it once there's actually stuff in there. But yeah, she's a little bit frustrating. Now along the outskirts of my garden, I have a peach tree, I have an apple tree here, another apple tree here, and I really need to stake them, a few of them, because they, like that one, my 2-year-old thought it was fun to hang on it and has bent it down. And then right here in the center of my garden that still needs to be weeded, we really need to just branch out more with some cardboard and some wood chips. But I have some grapevines growing here and there, and then we have 2 more on this other fence. I have one here. I'll show you guys this new growth. Now we planted these last year and we did not get anything off of them, so I'm hoping this year we might get a little something. And I've companion planted hyssop, another thing of hyssop with it, which is supposed to help your grape yield be larger, so hopefully that will help that as well for this year. So I'd really like to have an arched trellis for my grapes. This whole side-to-side thing just takes up way too much space in my garden. Like, I could be planting quite a bit more in here, just squeezing stuff in here if I had an arched trellis instead of a side-to-side. We tried that last year, and the fencing that I used just wasn't strong enough. The fence that we have now is strong enough to make the arch, but it's too big. So we really need some bolt cutters to be able to cut it down and make it to the size that we want it. But I will probably wait until winter to work on that, just so I'm not really disrupting the grapevines at this time. Now the last thing on this side of the garden, we just planted this year, is a goji berry bush. Now I've got a tomato cage around it because it kind of just like sprawls out and it has thorns on it. So I didn't want one of my kids to like walk into that. So I've put a tomato cage to hopefully contain it and make it grow up. I've never grown goji berries, and I really need to read up on it a little bit more, but for now this is what we're working with. Now this whole section is to the left of our chicken area, and it is brand new. So we have like tripled our garden space this year, and we're trying something different. So last year I did the back to Eden style gardening, This year, this is a no-dig garden. It is layered with cardboard, and there's some straw in there, some compost. The last 3 beds actually have sticks layered under there as well, so it's just kind of like a trial and error place. Hopefully it all works out. We're growing a lot of flowers over here, so if it doesn't work out, it's not going to be like a loss of food. And thankfully most of my flower seeds were given to me, so hopefully it still works out. Alright, so in this first bed here, we've planted corn and cucumbers, and we've just stacked or staggered them. Corn, cucumbers, corn, cucumbers. So once those start to pop up, I will need to do some kind of trellising for the cucumbers, but they're supposed to benefit from the shade of the corn. The next row here, these were all transplants. These are double click cosmos, so I'm excited to see them. I've planted some poppies here. So these have been transplanted as well. Right in there. And then over here I have some dahlias planted. And I started these from seed, so I'm not really sure what they're going to look like. Apparently dahlias will not look the exact same unless you have tubers. I think that's what they're called. So just done a little research on that, so I'm excited to see what comes up here. We have a random chicken who's apparently laying her eggs in our barn. She's getting out of her coop. Alright, so this next bed over here, honestly guys, I would have to look at my chart. I don't remember what I planted. But we should be having some seeds come up. I know that, well, we'll start over there. I know this whole row, the first row, is sunflowers. So we just have different varieties of sunflowers planted in there. The mammoths are planted way over here because they get huge, and I didn't want them shading off the rest of them. So we planted them by their height differences, and the shortest sunflowers will be here. And then we've got, I know I've got cosmos and lupines and different flower assortments going through here. So I will post a picture of my little chart that Selah and I have done. No, 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 no. Get out of the garden. You need to get out of the garden. Go on. Yeah, Yep, keep going. There you go. So my 4-year-old Selah really wants to grow cut flowers this year and sell some, what are they called? Bouquets. And so thankfully, like I said, all of the flower seeds were pretty much given to us. So this is going to be a trial and error, a lot of it for her to kind of pursue that entrepreneur route and see, just try out different things, see what she likes, and then also know what it's like to work and things. So she did help me plant a lot of these seeds. Some of them I planted myself. I really just enjoy planting. So anyways, hopefully this stuff grows up and she'll be able to make a little bit of extra money this summer. Alright, so in this area right here, my neighbor came and tilled it up, and I raked it up into mounds, and then we put compost on top of it. So I don't know if this is going to be good or not. It's only been tilled once. I think that you usually till a couple of times before you plant, but I was just running out of space in my garden to be able to plant stuff, so I wanted to just till up some stuff and see how it worked. So this first row, we have wildflowers planted in there, which I am so excited to see come up. I'm excited to see all of the butterflies and the bees and all that stuff, all the pollinators to come in and hopefully help pollinate all of our plants. The next row over, we've planted nasturtiums, and we also have zucchini, different types of zucchini plants down through there. And then this third row, we have transplanted some more cabbage. Like I said, am running out of stuff or places to plant stuff. And then down this other half, I've planted pumpkins. So hopefully they will grow that way, and we'll have a nice little pumpkin patch for us for the fall. Alright, so that is the end of our garden tour for April of 2022. I will keep you guys updated as we add more stuff and as things grow. Sayla, please, hold on. I'll keep you guys updated as we add more things in and as things grow and we get harvesting and stuff like that. I'm so excited about the garden this year. It's just, I don't know, it's been very calming to me in this season of life, and I've just really enjoyed it. So if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the garden tour, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Thumbs up like that.
Bye.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.